All right. Shalom, first and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And just putting my 2 cents in on the flavor of the month, which is the SNAP benefits running out. As you may well know, we have 3 days until the confirmed date of November 1st that people who are receiving SNAP benefits will no longer receive SNAP benefits. Okay. And it's funny that the rhetoric from many women is starting to change. Okay. At first, they were strong and independent. They don't need a man. Niggas are dusty. They bums. Or if they just broke, just say that. Now the rhetoric is, what are we going to do? The government can't shut this thing down. They can't take away my EBT. You got women talking about how they going to go out on camera and confess to going to premeditated crime, which is absolutely stupid. Then you have women talking about how they're going to sell themselves. And I was like, this can't be the same group of women that were talking about how they're baddies and boss bitches and they balling because they can go to Beyonce and the Chris Breezy concert. But now the government's taking away food stamps and now they don't know what to do. And my thing is, it's not like you haven't been told that this day was not going to come. Okay, there are many people who told these women that this day is going to come. Okay, if you honestly thought that a system that incentivizes laziness and whorish behavior for women would last, you are sadly mistaken. Now, I'm not saying that every person that receives SNAP benefits doesn't need them. Okay, but we all know that the current system gets highly abused. Okay, it is a system that was designed to break up households, which is why I said earlier, okay, this system incentivizes laziness and whorish behavior. Because now, since a woman feels that she doesn't need a man and Big Daddy government can take care of her, in her mind, she's like, why would I need a man? And see, one of the true things that they hate about these SNAP benefits, I guarantee you, is that now they're going to have to come back and humble down to a man. And see, that's when a lot of these women are going to realize how truly cold this world is. Okay? Because while these benefits were rolling in, as I said before, you've seen a lot of reckless talk and a lot of reckless behavior. Okay? But now, since Big Daddy government doesn't need the chaos of these women anymore, they're in a situation that they can't foresee getting themselves out. They cannot foresee overcoming or making it through what's going to happen. See, this is why the scripture tells us uh is it shadow Egypt? Isaiah 30:1. And it says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh. All right, in this situation where we're talking about you women of the nation of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latino, and Native American women. All right, we know bad auntie Shesaw. We know she's the main recipient of SNAP benefits, Okay, but what's happening is mainly judgment for you women of our nation. It says that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. To walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Okay, because you have to remember that the scripture tells us, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Okay, I believe there's one in Jeremiah that says, woe to them that maketh flesh his arm. Okay, all these precepts, though worded differently, present the same point of putting your trust in man, or putting your trust in anything that's not Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, you have to remember that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is the provider of all things. You have to remember the scripture tells us that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Okay, so anything that we just so happen to get, okay, it's all through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And the scripture tells us that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is a jealous power. Okay, he doesn't want our people having to depend on a system or be seduced by a system that incentivizes laziness and whorish behavior. But we have a nation of women who have grown accustomed to the lifestyle that SNAP gives them. Okay, they've been accustomed to using SNAP benefits or having people buy their EBT while they use their job money and the money from their EBT to do other things. Or they've become comfortable busting out 3, 4, 5, 6 children because they'd be like, well, I could just go to the aid office, tell them I have more children, and then they can just increase my EBT or my SNAP benefits. Okay. Many women have become very comfortable being able to talk reckless to men and say how, well, if you just broke, say so. You dusty, you a bum, you this and that. Okay, many women have become very comfortable acting reckless and talking reckless because of Big Daddy government backing them up. Okay, but as we read here in the scripture, it says, woe to those type of people who are going down to Egypt, that have taken a covering of Egypt and not of the Lord. Verse 3 says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. And what do you see right now? If they cut these SNAP benefits off, I'm going to motherfucking Walmart, and it's going to look like a Jet2 holiday. And I wish y'all would try to follow me to my car. The government's supposed to take care of my kids. Hey, I'm going to start selling. And y'all men know what I'm talking about. Seriously, go on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And these women are telling you flat out for the whole world to see that if by chance, if this is not just an idle threat, that if by chance November 1st rolls around and they cut these benefits off, this is what they're saying that they're going to do. Okay? That pump has been brought down very low. All right? Guys was dusties, bums, and broke, and now it's just like, well, somebody needs to help us out. I don't know who that somebody's going to be, but they like, somebody need to help us out. And it says, and trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. Woo. says, let me read that again, Isaiah 30:3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. As many of these women, as I mentioned earlier, thought that this gravy train would go on forever. But now we have come into a time where they are extremely worried, because it's like, oh, this thing might actually pop off. That's why the scripture says, I think it's in Isaiah, where it says they shall, Isaiah 32:9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. It says, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hey, you women, attention, attention. All you women who have gotten very comfortable, all right, with the benefits that and the lifestyle that SNAP gives you, okay? It's saying, listen to the Lord. It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, all right? Because you have to remember that, let's say this does go into effect November 1st, and this is not just some empty threat used for psychological measurement or whatever the case may be. Let's say they actually do implement this. Do you realize what's going to happen if it's even closed down for a month? A month. These chicks are going to lose their mind. They are truly going to be out here in a very bad case, because if this does take effect, as I mentioned before, and they shut it down for just a month. Now imagine if it goes past a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And they talk about 40-something plus $1 million on SNAP benefits. So can you imagine that? Just like that, 40 plus million people are going to be in a, as the scripture says, a pitiful case. All right. It says, verse 10, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. It says, tremble ye women, basically be in fear. You women who have gotten, that are at ease, be in fear, you women that have gotten comfortable. It says, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip ye and make ye bare and gird sackcloth upon your head. You better humble down real quick and get right. Because as I mentioned earlier in this sit down, one of the things that many of these women are going to start dreading is the fact that they will have to humble. I mean, they're going to have to seriously humble themselves, because they're going to have to ask a man for help. And as like I said in that day, women, a lot of women are going to see what cold truly is. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. A lot of these chicks ain't even going to get a dish. You're just going to get a cold, freezing cold meal. Okay, it says, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip ye and make ye bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats. All these crash outs on the internet, these women are crashing out big time. Now, they've heard that SNAP benefits may be taken away in the past, but we haven't been in a situation like this where hyperinflation is through the roof, and now we have a government shutdown that looks like it might break the records of the previous government shutdowns. And then they taking away the benefits. Yeah, the government got their attention. These women are legitimately worried now. They are crashing out. They are lamenting like this cannot happen. This should not be happening. The government is supposed to take care of us. It says, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Yeah, as I mentioned before, the lifestyle that women have become comfortable living because of these SNAP benefits, it's about to go away. They're going to have to humble down to a man, and they're going to have to take what they can get, which means that they're going to be in a situation of desperation. And I didn't mean for that to rhyme, okay? But it's true. These women are going to be in a situation of desperation where they're going to do something strange to make sure that they're fed and their children are going to be fed. And that's when a lot of these modern women are going to realize what they have. They're going to truly, I'll say it like this, they're going to truly know what their value is in this modern world. And let me tell you, it's not going to be much because, hey, you know what? That's it. That's all I'm going to say on this. But nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. To the next time, we're going to say shalom.